Frequently, people have been killed by the actions of a single man, but in 1983, half the world was saved by one man's inaction. It was September 1983, and the Soviet Union had shot down a Korean airline flight from New York to Seoul, killing 269 passengers, mistakenly taking it for a US spy plane. Its flight number, rather unfortunately, was 007. Tensions between the United States and the Soviet Union were very high. On the 26th of September, 44-year-old Stanislav Petrov was the duty officer at the new OKO nuclear early warning system. His job was to monitor satellite surveillance and immediately report any missile activity that the system detected. Suddenly, the sirens howled and the word launch lit up on the screen. The system announced that the US had fired a missile at the USSR. 3 more missile warnings sounded before the decisive 5th warning, which changed the display to missile strike. Petrov should have immediately called his superiors, who would have sent the message up the chain of command, resulting in an immediate retaliatory nuclear attack. But he paused. Something wasn't right. Why would the US only fire 5 missiles? They had 23,000 warheads. Petrov wasn't convinced and, most crucially, Petrov did not trust computers. Instead of calling in the terrifying announcement of a missile attack, he reported, "There has been a system malfunction." He then just waited. He was only 50% sure of his assumption, but he had made the right choice. No missiles had been launched, and no attack occurred. It turned out that the system had been triggered by a rare alignment of sunlight on high-altitude clouds. It was fortunate for us that Petrov was on duty that day. All of the other duty officers had had a purely military education and would have unflinchingly reported the warning. The USSR would then have launched their attack. They had 36,000 warheads, which would have directly killed 120 million people in the United States. The US retaliation to that would have killed 75 million Soviets. The nuclear fallout would have had a knock-on effect, killing 2 billion people, half the world's population in 1983. Stanislav Petrov had made the most crucial decision ever, and he just went back to work. He made no mention of the event. He didn't even tell his wife. He was never rewarded or praised. In fact, he was reprimanded for improperly filing his report of the incident. The story only became public 15 years later with the fall of the Soviet Union, and he died in 2017. But he shall be remembered as the man who saved the world.